Hi guys, today I would like to introduce you to a few server modules that Cisco launched recently. But first, let's take a look why we need server modules at all. There are a few good reasons why almost every branch requires at least some local compute resources. For example, if a WAN acceleration service, like VAS, is used, you need a virtual VAS appliance on each end of the link. If the WAN or DC is down, the business has to continue, therefore a local point of sales application might be useful in retail environments. Lastly, if direct internet access is used, that internet connection has to be secured as well, for example with a virtual ASA. We got the feedback that the entry level for our UCS-E series servers is too high as it always requires a service module slot and therefore a pretty big router. Now I'm happy to announce that we've just released two new smaller UCS-E series servers, one in NIM form factor and one in EHWIC form factor. We call these the network compute engines to signify that they are smaller from a performance point of view, and the main purpose is networking services. Now let's take a closer look at these two new modules. This is our new UCS-E series network compute engine in NIM form factor. It has a 1.7 GHz Atom quad-core CPU and 8 GB memory. You can choose between a 50, 100 or 200 GB mSATA SSD drive. Additionally, it has an SD card for our Cisco integrated management console, in short CIMC, which is an out-of-band management port. It also features a KVM connector. This is the same connector as on the UCS-C series servers, as well as single-wide UCS-E series servers. You can connect the server into your network via the two internal or one external gigabit Ethernet interfaces. The second external RJ45 port is for dedicated access to the CIMC. Lastly, the server has a standard USB port for external device connectivity. The double-wide EHWIC has very similar features. It has an Intel Atom processor, but this is only a dual-core CPU. The memory can be either 4 GB or 8 GB. The hard disk comes in the same sizes, 50, 100 and 200 GB. Because the SSD drive and memory are hard to replace in the field, we have created fixed SKUs that only vary in the amount of memory and SSD space. The SD card fulfills the same purpose here, to host the CIMC image and possibly ISOs for server directly. The EHWIC also has two internal and one external gigabit Ethernet networking interfaces. This model doesn't have a dedicated CIMC port, it can be shared with any of the standard networking ports. A unique feature of this model is the mini USB console port. We support the same hypervisors and operating systems on these two modules. You can choose between Microsoft Hyper-V and VMware vSphere as hypervisors. Your operating system choices are Windows Server as well as Red Hat. For more details around these modules, you can check out our webpage at www.cisco.com/go/UCS-E. This concludes my Cisco UCS-E Network Compute Engine introduction video. I hope it has been informative for you and I'd like to thank you for viewing.